Please cognize you are half, and the other half is the mind, which is your close friend. And it is talking to you. Witness all these with no attachment. Do not stop, control, or go behind anything. This is the self-completion process, Swapurnatva Kriya, with your mind. We cannot get rid of the body and mind by constantly fighting with them. We can only go beyond them through friendliness. If we have a negative emotion of fear or greed towards the body-mind, we will naturally abuse and only have a violent relationship with it. Be complete with the body and the mind. Please witness all these with no attachment. Please let your mind talk. Now, slowly, very slowly, open your eyes. You will experience tremendous energy while we are doing the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Now, let me proceed. Please understand, human beings have the choice of being ignorant or enlightened, being incomplete or complete. Most often, we exercise our free will and choose to stay ignorant. Sri Krishna explains how to choose to be complete and enlightened. Please understand, everything in existence has a root. The way you behave, the way you think, the way you react, the way you respond, the way you cognize, everything has a root thought pattern. Whether you feel unhealthy or helpless, or emotionally weak, tired, bored, lazy, agitated, all these put together is powerlessness. Even if you feel this way, it has a root thought pattern. Our past experiences are stored in our unconscious as root thought patterns. They mislead you to a space of powerlessness, incompletion. In Sanskrit, the right technical word for these root thought patterns is Moola Vasana or Moola Vichara Dhara. Please understand, we make incomplete decisions through root thought patterns or Moola Vasanas. We should find the root of our incompletions and complete with it, or else it leads to more powerlessness and suffering. Whether we have debts, whether we have professional problems, whether we are attracting accidents, whatever it may be, there is a root pattern. Moola Vichara Dhara. In this chapter called Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Sri Krishna explains the root of our happening. Why we do the way we do, why we perceive the way we perceive. Sri Krishna explains the three different gunas, attributes to Arjuna. How we act, how we react to every situation is based on these three gunas. The root patterns and how to complete with them is based on these things. Please understand, by repeating the truth again and again and again, Sri Krishna tries to create the right inner space of completion in Arjuna, in all of us. Sri Krishna declares that we can reach his state. He says, you will achieve the same state in which I am. Anyone can attain the transcendental nature like my own. Sri Krishna talks about the truth that one is eternal, not limited by birth and death. Listen carefully. Bhagavan says, I am the seed-giving father, the Pita. I am the root cause for everything. This great why is Sri Krishna's seed put inside you and sent, so that you won't rest until you become a tree. Here, Arjuna also comes back to the same great why again and again and again. In every chapter, there is a why. We are seeing that, isn't it? So Bhagavan spoke about natural attributes, the three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. The three attributes of nature in which all living beings exist. Krishna also explains the three layers of the body-mind system: prana, sharira, mana, sharira, and sukshma sharira, which are the physical, mental, and subtle bodies, respectively. Material nature consists of three attributes or root patterns: sattva, goodness; rajas, passion; and tamas, ignorance. Understand? Sattva refers to the root patterns that lead us to joy, bliss, the space of completion. Rajas refers to the root patterns that lead us to restlessness, excitement, and to work intensely, making us active and materially productive. Tamas refers to the root patterns that lead us to depression, laziness, and to dullness. Those patterns that automatically arise and imbalance our cognition and lead to depression are called tamas. Please understand the three attributes properly. We are made up of with this, isn't it? Triguna, deeper understanding about them is the level of an animal is the level of instinct, which is tamas. The level of man is the level of intellect, which is rajas. The level of God is the level of intuition, which is sattva. We are caught in tamas. So we need to move towards rajas. If we are caught in tamas, we need to move towards rajas. If we are caught in Rajas, make the move towards Sattva. If we are caught in Sattva, it will automatically lead us to enlightenment. Understand? In Sattva, we work and make decisions, yet we do not become tired. We work decisions, we make decisions, we do everything, but we do not become tired. We can be active for 24 hours and yet we remain peaceful. This is what is called action in inaction and inaction in action. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, we will be centered when we are in Sattva Guna. Though lots of activities go on around us, we will remain utterly relaxed in restful awareness. The number of root thought patterns determines whether we are caught in Sattva, Rajas, or Tamas. These three are not enlightened states. Enlightenment is beyond these three. Sri Krishna further explains the three modes. Bharata, sometimes goodness, Sattva is prominent, defeating Rajas, passion, and Tamas, ignorance. And at times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. We are not completely caught in Sattva or Rajas or Tamas. We swing between Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So, Sri Krishna says, the manifestations of the modes of goodness, Sattva, can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. This is the technique. The gates of the body are the gates through which we cognize, we receive knowledge through the five senses. He says that we should keep these five carefully guarded by prakasa, illuminated knowledge. Bhagavan Krishna says, let us have the protection of knowledge at the five gates, and we will reside in continuous bliss. When we protect our senses with Sattva, goodness, we will not allow negative patterns to enter our inner space. See, today I'm speaking very little content, but very powerful, deep. You have to really, really analyze and internalize and analyze and experience it. Sri Krishna uses powerful words to describe tamas. What is it? Ignorance, madness, illusion, inertia, and darkness. Bhagavan calls tamas as all of these. He says, one can quickly slip from rajas to tamas. Tamas, darkness, is generally born out of the ignorance of our true self. Understand? We can only remove darkness by bringing in light. Same way, we can dispel ignorance by bringing in the signs of completion. Sri Krishna tells us where the person goes after death when filled, steeped in these attributes of sattva, rajas and tamas. A sattvic person becomes divine. A tamasic person chooses a lower life. A rajasic person continues to suffer due to greed. Sri Krishna says that a person living in sattva goes to higher spaces, the abodes of the realized sages, saints, and then he becomes divine. When we are in sattva, we live in restful awareness, the space of enlightenment. We stop thinking about ourselves and we start living for others. The darkness representing tamas is ignorance. And the darkness, Shankari is asking a question, what is the difference between darkness representing tamas and the darkness of cosmos? The darkness representing tamas is ignorance, and the darkness representing cosmos is Kali, rejuvenation. All the unmanifest. Which are not yet known. We look at it as darkness. So please understand, when we are in sattva, we live in restful awareness, the space of enlightenment. We stop thinking about ourselves and we start living for others. Please understand, guys. We look at the cosmos, the darkness of cosmos as darkness because we lack the illuminating knowledge. If we have the illuminating knowledge, what we are addressing as darkness of cosmos, we will not be addressing that way. We will be addressing in some other way. Because as of now, we are ignorant. We are unable to see what it is. Here, Sri Krishna assures next. Assures. Om urdhvan gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasah jaganya guna vrittistha adho gachanti tamasah. If you want, you can repeat. Om urdhvan gachanti.
Om urdhvam gachanti
Sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasah. Jaganya guna vrittishta
Jaganya vritrishta
adho gachanti tamasaha. Means those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher world. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the worlds below. Now, the next chant. Om Nanyam Gunebhyah Kartaram Yada Drashtanupasyate Gunebhyascha Param Vetti Madbhavam Sodhigacchati. You can repeat now. Om Nanyam Gunebhyah Kartaram Yada Drashtanupasyati Gunebhyascha Param Vetti Madbhavam Sodhigacchati. Means when we see that there is nothing beyond these modes of nature in all activities, and that the Supreme Lord is transcendental to all these modes, the seeker can know my spiritual nature. So here, Bhagavan is also giving a great technique. Krishna provides the key to liberation here. Those who go beyond the three gunas, beyond the activity producing attributes, beyond the root patterns and complete, they are free of bondages and enjoy bliss in this world. So, step 1 is us to realize that our thoughts, words, and activities arise from one of the three root patterns, gunas, such as sattva, rajas, and tamas. Now, step 2 is the understanding about guna, root pattern, is doing what to us? What disempowering cognition that guna is building about our inner image mamakara, our outer image ahankara, others' image anyakara, others' expectation about us, and life's image swa-anyakara. And step 3 is to do the completion and the creation process. Do completion with that guna or root pattern, and do creation of the sattva guna, the right inner space to create the reality that we want. Finally, we transcend sattva guna and enter into nirguna or no guna state. If we are complete, unattached by all that is happening, we act out of sattva guna. So, with great clarity, Bhagavan Sri Krishna explains the nature of one who has transcended the three gunas. He explains what we need to do to become a triguna rahita, to become liberated from the influence of the three gunas. Please understand, one who is beyond the three gunas is unaffected by their play of emotions. Whatever happens is right for him. Success and failure mean the same. Friend and foe makes no difference. Poverty or richness has no influence. Such an attitude of total detachment requires one thing, that is complete trust. When we trust that whatever happens is what needs to happen, we are totally detached. Then whatever happens will be right. Such trust can only come from surrender. Next, Bhagavan says, next slide. Shloka, he says, Mam cha yo vyabhichareణ bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Sagunan samatityayantan. Okay, you can repeat. Om mam cha
Om Mamsha
yo vyabhichareణ
Yogya
bhakti yogena
Bhakti Yojena
sevate
Devate
sagunan
Sagunan
samatityayitan
Samatityayitan
brahma
Brahma
bhuyaya kalpate.
Bhuyaya Kalpate.
Translation: one who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So Bhagavan again and again is talking about devotional service. So here what Krishna is concluding is, he's concluding this chapter by asserting that the transcendental state is beyond the three attributes of nature, gunas, that is Brahman. Transcendental state which is beyond the gunas is Brahman, cosmic consciousness, the space of completion. He says you reach this through devotion and devotional service. He says that he is that Brahman, the source of eternal bliss. Krishna speaks as Parabrahma Krishna, the supreme energy. He is not speaking as Vasudeva Krishna, the individual. He is in the expanded consciousness of Brahman and he is beyond the three gunas. He is the source of the gunas. Please understand, it does not matter who our master is. What matters is our trust, our surrender. Based on the level of our completion, our guna, our surrender matters, not the master's state. Surrendering, not even bothering to whom you are surrendering, as a quality of surrendering is enlightenment. That space of completion alone liberates us. This is what Krishna means by devotion, bhakti yogena sevate, which is unfailing, the devotion which is unfailing in all circumstances. Nothing more is needed. anyone that we surrender to totally. He is Krishna. So, master state is not important. Our trust and our level of surrender based on our guna is important. So, anyone that we surrender to, even if it's a stone, it will become Krishna. And we then fall into Krishna's consciousness, the consciousness of completion. So beautifully, Bhagavan ended this. He spoke about Trigunas, he spoke about everything. In the end, he's saying, Bhakti Yogena Sevate, unfailing devotion in all circumstances. Naturally, automatically, we will be pushed into Sattva Guna when we surrender that way. Now, if any questions from seekers, please type on the chat box.
Okay, so now it's question time. Please type on the chat box if you have any question.
I actually think this is beyond question, isn't it? What is there to question?
Okay. Shankari has a clarification.
Wow, Shankari has. So, can I understand in this way? Unknown, which is the darkness of cosmos, is the possibility of life from rejuvenation, energy of Kali. Yes, ma, we can. Because it is unknown and unmanifest, which we don't know. Only the illumination of knowledge can make us understand about that beyond energy. At that time, maybe we will not even call it as darkness. Anything else?
I think some of them are typing. How to achieve this unfailing devotion despite whatever happens?
Swamiji once told, Bhakti devotion, the true devotion is the fruit of enlightenment. Actual bhakti. Nothing. Just here, Bhagavan already told us, no matter what self-doubt or conflict or... See, we should not be judging the masters or gurus through our perception and what we are seeing as their actions. Swamiji always says, their actions we cannot interpret. So, whenever that kind of self-doubt, conflict, guru doubt, anything comes immediately, because Krishna already gave us this knowledge, immediately we should realize, hey, Krishna told us this. This, our perception, our doubt, our conflict, our everything is based upon our guna. That is the reason this is arising. So, there's no point in even answering our self-doubt, because it is only based on our guna. So, our perception is not reality. So, let us wait until we will be pushed into Sattva Guna. This understanding, whenever such fear or guilt or greed or doubt or conflict arises, this understanding, if we remind ourselves again and again, and in any circumstance when we don't question Paramashiva, automatically, by Paramashiva's grace, we will definitely, have that space of unfailing devotion. What is guna? Guna is the attribute about which I spoke this whole 1.5 hours. Guna is an attribute. And this also, we also fall into that guna space because of our root thought pattern. Please understand, when we are a baby, when the first emotional attack happens on us, which shakes us, in that powerless space, we form a first cognition. That is the first cognition we have. It is called Moola Vichara Dhara. That first cognition becomes the base and it rules us our whole life. Our decisions, our actions, our reactions, everything becomes based on that root thought pattern, Moola Vichara Dhara. So, the moment it happens to us, we either fall into rajas or tamas or something, and it starts ruling us. But by this understanding what Krishna gave, every time when we are falling into that tiredness, boredom, every time we are falling into that laziness, every time we are falling into that conflicting space, remind ourselves, hey, this is not reality. This is only because based on our gunas, this is happening inside us. So let us catch hold of Bhagavan's lotus feet in an unfailing way. Then slowly, we will experience that unfailing devotional space. Nothing more is needed, Bhagavan is saying. That's it. Okay now? So let
us go to the next slide. So next slide, I think she already answered. Okay, so I think we're going to conclude soon. So just a reminder to all the devotees that the new season of Paramashivoham starts on the 20th of this Saturday. So we suggest all of you attend level 1 if you have not attended level 1, which is the module where Swamiji gives all the basic fundamental foundation for living, like enlightenment. So here are the dates of coming seasons from January all the way to July. So every season has the 3 levels happening concurrently. If you have not attended level 1, please attend. And it starts at 8 a.m. PM Singapore time. And then, the darshan, daily darshan is 8 a.m. at Singapore time. 21st. Yeah, 21st. 20th, yeah, the next day is the darshan, and it's 5:30 a.m. IST. Okay, so I really welcome and also invite all of you to attend the Paramashivam programs. Next slide. So this is going to be the concluding slide. Next slide. So once again, thank all of you for joining the session today. It's been 2 weeks now since we last met. And again, a reminder, please enrich, at least 11 people a day about Bhagavad Gita. This great knowledge given by Sri Bhagavan Krishna, and the way how every chapter just gives more and more clarity about how to reach him. So please bring more people to the session, and so that you can also manifest abundance in your life. Now, if you have the book, you can read the physical book. Otherwise, there is an e-copy of the the Bhagavad Gita decoded ebook. This is the link. You can go ahead and download a free copy. And next session, next week, we will have chapter 15, Purposelessness Yoga, on the next Wednesday. So I look forward to seeing all of you. Anything else, Sri Veda?
Yeah, that's it. All of you, I request all of you to join and enrich a lot of people for the next chapter and develop that enriching devotional space. By doing all these things only, we will keep on moving into the devotional space. Bhagavan is again and again and again mentioning about devotional service. So, enriching is devotional service. Once you do that, you will move into that space more and more and more. So, talk to people about this. Please come to the next session without missing and bring people to the next session. And please definitely attend the Paramashivoham Level 3 program and experience Sri Krishna himself in the darshan. Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
thank you, everybody.
The honor of concluding with the Purna mantra.
Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sadguru Padarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Thank you, Nithyananda. See you next week.
Thank you, everybody. See you next week.
Yes.
Internalize all these truths before you come.